Right, let's take you straight back to the US, to Kansas City. This shooting that took place at the end, it seems, of a victory parade celebrating Kansas City Chiefs' victory in the Super Bowl. And then there seems to have been a shooting close to Union Station here. So we are getting some details from Kansas City PD. 2 armed people have been detained for investigation. Multiple people are injured. Let's cross now to our correspondent, Tom Bateman. Tom, we're just going to stay on these live pictures of the scene. Just bring us up to date with what we know so far.
Well, what we know is this is a huge event that takes place in Kansas City, the second year running that it has happened. Pictures from a little earlier on in the day showed, a whole series of open-top buses moving through these very large crowds, and then a big part of the event at Union Station there. Now, as you've been reporting, the police say that at the conclusion of the rally, there were shots fired west of Union Station, near, they say, the garage, and several people, in their words, were struck. Now, they're talking about 2 armed people being detained for more investigation, but some of the images were showing or appearing to show from a live shot earlier on, people running, some scenes of panic close to the station there. The police have said that they are trying to evacuate the station itself, and they're working to try to do that. And in the meantime, the parking garage that they've talked about is being used to facilitate the treatment of shooting victims. So clearly a significant incident. What we don't know crucially yet is about the exact numbers involved, the numbers of people struck. They're just saying, as I mentioned, that there are victims and that they have those 2 people detained at the moment for investigation, but a lot of the details still emerging.
Okay, Tom, thank you very much for that. So these are the live pictures that Tom was just referring to, and you can see there lots of police, ambulance, security personnel who presumably would have been there anyway before the scale and the size of the victory parade in the last few hours. So clearly people on the scene very quickly, and we can see some fans still hanging around. But this took place, say police, close to Union Station at the conclusion, so towards the end of the rally, the parade, when people were leaving, because just a couple of hours ago there were thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out on the streets celebrating the Kansas City Chiefs' win over the 49ers in the Super Bowl. 2nd year in a row, Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. And this year in particular, they've got particular attention from people around the world because of their success and because of the celebrity supporters too. But these were the scenes a little earlier on that I was just referring to. People coming out onto the streets, celebrating their superstars. Patrick Mahomes, star quarterback, Travis Kelce, another star player, and his girlfriend, Taylor Swift, clearly a global star, and that has brought even more attention onto the success of the football team. And they were out celebrating, and this, unfortunately, is the aftermath. A shooting, say police, at the conclusion of the parade. 2 people, armed people, detained for more investigation. Multiple people injured. So we don't have exact numbers on how many people were injured. Right, I'm told we have some new pictures. Let's take a look at these. I'm seeing these for the first time with you. Let's see if we can establish what's happening. So this, to be clear, is not live. This is from a little earlier, and we can see people moving around. Looks like police moving there. This clearly when there were still more fans in the area. This is outside Union Station, where we are told the shooting happened. And clearly there would have been lots of security personnel, ambulances there anyway. And this is some of the confusion. You can see people running different directions there whilst fans are still around, flags supporting the Kansas City Chiefs still there. Police saying that they are trying to, or have been trying to, evacuate the area. And this is clearly a clear indication of the worry there and the grave concern about what's going on. People running, fans running, as surely news of what is going on, or at least the confusion or misunderstanding or lack of knowledge of what's going on, is spreading. Very worrying scenes. Just to be clear, if you are just tuning in here, these are not live pictures. This is just from a little earlier, not that long ago, because this is when people are still there at the conclusion of this victory parade, supposed to be celebrating, and there were lots and lots of people out celebrating Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. And then this confusion, reports of a shooting west of Union Station, police releasing requests for people to evacuate the area and releasing some details of the geography. They said shots were fired west of Union Station near the garage. Several people were struck. That is the only detail we have when it comes to numbers. Several people were struck. So we don't know the severity of the injuries caused. We don't know how many people are involved. But several people were struck. Right, we have now a bit of an interview with a local reporter on the scene. Let's take a listen.
Guys, something's going on. Something's going on, guys.
Well, that gives you a clear sense of what was happening, because those TV crews, those TV cameras, and all those people were there celebrating Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl back to back. It doesn't happen very often in the NFL, and it has happened, and there are lots and lots of people there, lots of eyes on this parade from right around the world. And you can see there in that reporter standing amongst the crowd, getting a sense that something was wrong, getting a sense that something had happened. But as people started running and clearing the area, not exactly clear what was going on. Police since come out and said on social media there was a shooting west of Union Station as people were leaving at the conclusion of the celebrations, at the end of the parade, with the players and the fans out on the streets. There were open-top buses, there was a big stage set up, and lots of people there, as you could imagine. And then shots fired near the garage west of Union Station. Several people hit. Police very quick to say that we need people to exit the area as quickly and safely as possible and avoid that parking garage that they referred to, in order to facilitate the treatment of shooting victims. Police going on to say many of you have footage, many officers securing Union Station. They're working to provide safety of everyone inside. This again is from a little earlier. This is a reporter at the scene, and you can see the camera there pointed towards what would have been and was just a little bit earlier, thousands of fans out on the streets enjoying the parade. And you can see from these pictures the confusion. People know that something has happened.
Guys, something's going on.
And then that shouting, and clearly people got a sense that something wasn't right here without knowing exactly what wasn't right. And then we heard from the police saying people should leave the area, people should evacuate and head to safety. 2 people, armed people, detained by police for more investigation, and several people struck. So that's the only details we have on any people who are injured or hit potentially. Several people were struck. So we don't have any idea of numbers or scale at this point. We will be, of course, chasing down those details. But as things stand, a lot of uncertainty there. And just to be clear, that these pictures they're not live, they're just from a little earlier, they're not that long ago, but this when a greater number of people were around Union Station leaving the parade. And this seemed to be the moment that the news started filtering through, people running in different directions. So we will continue to chase any more details we can get there from the US. But for now, around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News.